My name is Alex, and I never thought the woman I loved would one day treat me like I did in Team Matter. In the beginning, Mia was warm, funny, and supportive. She used to hold my hand and say, "We're a team. Remember that." But slowly, the team disappeared, and I was the only one playing. It's strange how something so big can start so small. The insults didn't come suddenly. They came quietly, like raindrops before a storm. One morning, I was getting ready for work. My shirt wasn't ironed perfectly, and she noticed. She didn't ask if I was stressed. She didn't smile. She didn't say, "It's okay." She just looked at me with this cold, disappointed expression and said, "Can you ever look presentable?" No wonder nobody takes you seriously. Her tone was sharp. Her eyes were distant. Her words felt so heavy. I remember just laughing it off, telling myself she was just having a bad day. But that bad day turned into a bad week, then a bad month, and eventually, it just became our marriage. It was a slow erosion of my confidence. I asked a simple question, she'd snap. If I forgot something small from the grocery store, she'd mock me, calling me useless. Whenever I tried to express how I felt, how her words were hurting me, she'd roll her eyes and say, "You're being so dramatic, Alex. Just grow up." Those words. They hurt more than shouting ever could. They made me feel small, like my feelings were a burden. It was like I was walking on eggshells in my own home, constantly trying to avoid the next cutting remark. The humiliation started to spill out in front of others. Once, we had her cousin over. I was getting everyone drinks, and a glass slipped from my hand and shattered on the floor. An accident? But Mia didn't see it that way. In front of her family, she said, "My husband can't even handle a glass. Imagine him handling a family." They both laughed. I just stood there, surrounded by broken glass, feeling just as shattered. I didn't say anything. I just cleaned it up. Every night, I'd lie in bed next to her, feeling a million miles away. I was losing her, but worse, I was losing myself. The breaking point came on our anniversary. I wanted to fix things, to find that spark again. I planned a special evening. I cooked her favorite meal, bought a cake, and filled the room with flowers. I was just trying to make us feel like us again. She arrived late, walked in, and looked at the table. There was no smile, no warmth, just a sigh. She said, "Why would you waste money on all this? You could have at least asked me what I wanted." I tried to swallow the hurt to not let it show, but then she delivered the final blow. She looked me straight in the eye and said, "You just don't think, Alex. You just do things wrong, always." In that moment, everything became clear. I stared at her, and it was like seeing a stranger. This wasn't the woman I married. This wasn't love. It was emotional punishment. I didn't shout. I didn't argue. I just calmly said, "I can handle making mistakes, but I can't handle disrespect. Not from the person I'm supposed to love." She just froze. For the first time in a long time, she didn't have a comeback. She was silent. I left the room quietly. But my silence said everything I couldn't say for years. You see, sometimes men stay quiet to keep the peace. We absorb the hits. We rationalize the insults. We tell ourselves it's not that bad. But peace without respect is just quiet suffering. And that night, I finally decided I wouldn't suffer in silence anymore. This story isn't about leaving or revenge or trying to prove a point. It's about a simple, powerful truth. Every man deserves respect. Every person deserves respect, especially the quiet ones who have been told their feelings don't matter. Your worth is not determined by someone else's inability to see it. Remember that. Thanks for listening. If this story resonated with you, please share your thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Take care.